What is your American dream?
I'm from Chicago. My parents are from the Philippines, and my American dream is to have world peace. I think that it all starts with teaching each other how to love one another, and that will set the path for a positive future.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My American dream is peace on earth.
I was born in Moscow. My American dream is I really want to get good education and I want to do my favorite things in the future.
I was born in New Jersey. My American dream is to hit the Mega Millions so I can take care of my family, my friends, and myself.
I'm from Belgium. My American dream would be that between youth people we have deep conversation about our faith, about how we see life and how we can live together.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Too blonde. Swipe left. Too furry. Swipe left. Oh, hello everybody. I was just looking on Tinder as it's Friday night and I was thinking it would be nice to go out on a date. And I'm doing it in Paul Hirsch's office because he's not around right now. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, in case you missed last night's episode of Brad Show Live, we introduced you to Brittany Russell, who's our new managing personal injury attorney. She's amazing. She just got a verdict of $13.6 million for a family. And then Brad wants Kim to be way more deadpan when she asks social media questions, which, between us, not sure that's possible, knowing Kim. And then, guess what? Sam from the Bronx called. Oh my God, Brad actually thought that was me. I've got skills, but I can't burrow so quickly from Lower Manhattan to the Bronx during the show. That would take some time. And Brad educated everyone on his great knowledge of the classic film Rush Hour, starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, with the famous line, "Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?" What's going to happen on today's show? We'll have to watch and find out. Back to Tinder. Ooh, they're cute too.
Oh, stunning.
Sam! That was a good one, Sam. That was very, very funny. Welcome, everybody. Where am I looking? Right here. Welcome, everybody, to Brad Show Live. It is Friday. It is, what's today's date, Jill? Do we even have a date here? March 9th. We are live, and it is the last day of the week. Please call us right now, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. While we wait for the phones to light up, we have a bunch of people on hold from Sarasota, Florida, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Chicago, Illinois, and all the way from Maryland. So we have people from all over the United States on hold. I'm going to be answering your immigration questions in a few minutes. Everybody on hold, please stay on hold. Welcome to Tamika and Carol and Carlette and Princess, Stacy Ann Hodge, Jeff Bosey, Christy Cansal, Ma Dukes, who else here? Natalie McLean, Dionne Watson, and everybody else. Princess Martin, Marge Higgs, Malia, Carla Harris. Who did I miss here that said hello early on? Princess, good afternoon. Patrona Collins, Cordella Willery. I didn't shave Cordella, sorry. Don't kill me on that one. Dawn Harriet. Cordella gets very mad when I don't shave. Who else here we got? Beverly Thompson. And welcome everybody and all our new viewers as well. This is Brad Show Live. We're going to be answering your immigration questions. We're going to be joined shortly. This is, we're going to go through the news quickly. We're going to go through your immigration questions when you call 1-800-529-5465. We're going to be joined. I was given, by the way, what's wrong with my head? Do I need to go? There we go. Maybe my head was kind of like getting cut off. Here we go. What happened there? There we go. So I was told that I'm not using the right grammar. There's no such thing. I said we're going to be joined by Belgium Kim. And what I've learned today is that I've been using the wrong grammar. It's like calling me, I was told, it's like calling me America Brad. You don't call somebody America Brad, you would call me American Brad. And it's not Belgium King, it's Belgian Kim. Right? Belgian. Right? So we're going to be joined by Belgian Kim later on in the show. And of course, Anna Ascona. and a whole bunch of more correspondence and some fun stuff. Right now, I was reading today, I'm sure everybody knows, Donald Trump, aka Orange Man, is going to be meeting with Kim Jong-un, aka Rocket Man. And the Rocket Man and the Orange Man are going to meet. And it's going to happen in the next 2 months, and hopefully that does not look like Donald Trump's body. Absolutely not. But hopefully they will meet and something will come of this. I don't know. I'll tell you what my concerns are. First of all, the news is reporting that the White House said Trump has agreed to the encounter and their talk is going to take place in May. It brings the North Korean regime closer to its long-desired aim of recognition on the international stage and offers Trump the tantalizing prospect of a historic diplomatic breakthrough. So I'll say what I believe is the good news and bad news about all of this. The good news is that between now and May, we are not going to have a nuclear war, thank God. Okay? God knows what the hell this guy is going to say to Kim Jong-un. We could have a war after their meeting. Who the hell knows? Because Trump is unpredictable. Kim Jong-un is unpredictable. But really, what I'm concerned about is that they're not even saying perhaps they're not even using the same language. Because Trump says the North Koreans have agreed to denuclearization. And Kim Jong-un has said, we have agreed to denuclearization. What does that mean? Because to Trump, denuclearization means North Korea has no nuclear weapons. Maybe to the North Koreans it means you give up your nuclear weapons, we'll give up ours. That's what, I'm concerned because they're coming from two different points of view. There's been no lower level people meeting to build up to this meeting. It's been basically no meeting between the North Koreans and the Americans, and now all of a sudden the two leaders meet because Kim Jong-un told the South Koreans he'll denuclearize. But he doesn't say what that actually means. Trump says, he's giving up his nuclear weapons, but maybe he's going to come to the talks and say, yeah, I'll give up my nuclear weapons if you give up your nuclear weapons. And of course, that's not going to happen. So I'm happy that at least between now and May, there's not going to be a prospect of war. I am concerned what happens after May. We'll see what happens. 1-800-529-5465 is the number to call to get on our show. 1-800-529-5465. Our lines are open. We're going to be answering your immigration questions. It looks like Donald Trump's about to knock me in the head. Look, if I lean back this way, boom! Did Trump just hit me? Well, no, the first time was better. It looks like he was about to punch me in the face. So any event, we'll see what happens with that. And also, I got to remind everybody, please share with your friends and family. If you don't share with your friends and family, then I can't help your friends and family, unless you want to keep me all to yourself. If you want to keep me all to yourself and you want to be selfish and you say, you know what, I just want Brad for myself. I don't want anyone to know about him. Let's keep this the biggest secret in the world between me and you and nobody else. Then, you know what, don't share. You can be selfish. But if you want me to help your friends and family, the best thing you can do is please share this with your friends and family. And you do that by sharing this on your timeline, sharing it into groups that you may have, that you manage or that you may belong to. Or you can send it in Messenger to your friends and family and say, hey, this is a pretty cool show. Why don't you go watch it? I'll tell you who is not going to be asking people to share their feed. I just read that the Obamas are in talks with Netflix. They're in advanced negotiations, according to this article, to produce a series of high-profile shows that will provide Mr. Obama and Michelle Obama with a global platform after his departure. Whoa, I got to move. There we go. After his departure from the White House. Under the terms of the proposed deal, which is not yet final, Netflix would pay Barack and Michelle Obama for the exclusive content that would only be available on Netflix. We'll see if that happens. I guarantee you, Obama does not, unlike Brad, is not going to have to come on the Netflix show and say, hey, please watch. Please tell your friends to watch. I haven't obviously reached that level yet, so I am not above asking and begging people to please share this with your friends and family. If you live upstate, in New York, by the way. Be very, very careful. Be wary. It's out there. Apparently, on Google Maps, captured, ordinary behavior every day of people, and the Google Map car goes around and takes pictures. And sometimes I even saw myself in a Google Map on the street that I lived years ago, driving down the street. So sometimes Google Maps just catches you in your everyday human behavior. Google Maps found a UFO, a rare sighting, a UFO. They believe the tool found it. It was spotted hovering above Lake George, New York. Alien hunters believe the truth is out there. We do not know if this is a hoax or not, but it is absolutely on Google Maps. If you go to Lake George and you zoom in on this strange object, it is there. The UFO hunters claim it is floating above the trees. Other people believe it is hashtag fake news. I don't know. Everybody check it out. Let me know what you think. Here's something for our criminal defense department. Depends when you think life begins. Apparently, a hospital in Ohio destroyed thousands of frozen embryos, people who went to fertility clinics and had their eggs and sperm, put together and making an embryo, and froze those embryos for future time when those embryos would be implanted inside of a woman's uterus that would eventually turn into a baby. Apparently, the temperature in one of the nitrogen tanks that were holding these embryo specimens went above acceptable limits and killed thousands of embryos. They don't know why the embryos died, but now it begs the question, depending on when people believe life begins, did we just kill 2,000 people? I don't know. I don't know if that would be what that would be considered. If that would be like a manslaughter of future human beings. I do not know. 1-800-529-5465. Here's something also very important for everybody out there who is traveling. The ICE, Immigration's Custom Enforcement, they came out with a new software that tracks who you're traveling with and who is on your airplane with you. And that tracking software is going to track and find suspicion if all of a sudden you claim to be traveling as a single person, but every time you're on a plane, you're with somebody else claiming that they are a single person. The system double line site is designed to process data like airline ticket information, cargo manifests, information from organizations, and Interpol. It helps agencies determine whether travelers should be admitted, detained, or subject to further scrutiny. So, for example, the example is this, because we were talking about it in our studio earlier. The example is this. Let's say, for example, Patrice, okay? Patrice, is one of our producers. She's fantastic. She does a lot of the cameras. Let's say me and Patrice are single people and we travel all the time together, but when we buy our tickets, we buy it as single. And now all of a sudden, we keep traveling together. And now say, hypothetically, Patrice does something bad, but we keep traveling with each other, or maybe she's under suspicion. Now, all of a sudden, the software is going to track that on the same airplane I was on was Patrice, and we've been on the same airplane 2-3 times in a row now. Maybe I'm doing something bad with her. Maybe I know her, maybe I don't. Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. But now that software is going to be put into use. Sonia Sotomayor, the Supreme Court Justice, she is helping children learn about our legal system. She is on the board of a company that started a online game that makes children put in a position of being an attorney, a pro bono attorney, and the game is called Tengo Algún Derecho, and it basically stands for Do I Have a Rights? And the children are put in the position of a pro bono attorney and has to navigate through their legal process and it is teaching their students from both English and in Spanish about civics and their rights. What else is happening? Let's see. Burger flipping robots begin. This is the last thing I want to talk about. Oh, I also want to talk about the little person gang from Boston. Yeah, we'll talk about those two things. Burger flipping robots. They're here. They are here. Flippy, the burger flipping robot, has begun work at Caliburger. I never heard of Caliburger, but it is a restaurant in Pasadena, Los Angeles, California. And Flippy is replacing the burger guy who does the flipping. And what we have to worry about here in the United States, there goes Flippy. There he is. Flippy, the hamburger guy. He has replaced the short order chef there at Caliburger. What we have to, he can handle 12 burgers at a time. And, really what the concern moving forward is, this is how stupid politics is. Okay, there's a point here when we come to Bradshaw Live. Okay, we as Americans are more concerned about immigrants taking our jobs. We should be concerned that machines are taking our jobs. That should be our biggest concern. Not that immigrants are going to be taking Americans' jobs. Machines. I said it here first. I said it here a few months ago. We already see it. Flippy, taking American jobs. Finally, before we get to our lines, I want to talk about the members of the little person crime gang suspected of 55 break-ins in Boston. Hopefully they have our telephone number at 1-800-529-5465. These little people, this is an absolutely true story. These are 3 members of the so-called Irish mob midgets. That's what they are called. They are a Boston-based criminal organization composed solely of midgets or short people. I don't think they like to be called midgets anymore. That was the criteria for joining the gang. The criteria was you are a midget and you want to commit crimes. Security camera footage shows that the 3 suspects during home break-ins, they had broke into over 55 homes. The reason why they were looking for small people, because small people can crawl through the dog doors, they can jump through chimneys, and they can get around windows and door locks. Although the Irish mob midgets officially describe themselves originally as a nonprofit motorcycle gang, the organization they have had several high-profile members of the organization been arrested for drug trafficking, arson, assault, and break-ins through doggy doors and chimneys. So there you have it. That is all of our news. I want to look in this camera. That is all of our news. Or should I look in this camera? Or should I look in this camera? Or this camera or this camera? Somebody should tell me something. There. I'm going to look in here. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Sharon in Sarasota, Florida. Sharon.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Just want to ask you a question.
Yes.
I have a friend here for over 12 years because of abuse from her husband in Jamaica, going to the police, calling them to the home, going to the family court. There was no redress. So she had a visa and she come here. She has not get anything done.
She was married to this man?
Yes, but
and she was
divorced.
Abused. How long has she been divorced?
Maybe about 6 years now.
Okay. Unfortunately, she went through a lot of abuse and she got very, very poor advice by probably many people.
I had to go to the mental health doctor.
Yeah. Is this you?
Yes.
Okay.
But
this is the problem. Okay? You needed to file, and I believe all of this happened, but you needed to file your abuse case within 2 years of a divorce. Since it happened more than 6 years ago, the statute of limitations is gone. So, had you not divorced the man, then you would have been able to file even today. But because you already divorced him, you don't have any recourse. Where did you get divorced?
In Jamaica.
In Jamaica. Why did you
Yes.
do a divorce in Jamaica if the marriage was occurring here?
Because I started it before I left.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do at this point, but except try to figure out another way to get a green card.
Yes,
But you're past the 2 years, unfortunately.
I am planning on getting married.
Okay, wonderful. And now,
Before.
hopefully, this man is treating you much better, I hope.
Yes.
Good. All right.
And by the end of this month, but I have a 18 plus and a 20.
Yeah, they're going to be off the case, unfortunately.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we're 0 for 2. I want to be able to help you, but I also have to tell you honestly what the law says. And what the law says is that you can your future husband can only file for children who are under the age of 18 at the time of marriage.
Okay.
All right, but we can help you, and then we'll figure out something for your children. So hold on one second, all right? 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Henrietta in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Henrietta.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good,
I'm
good,
fine.
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I have my green card, 2 years green card, and it's gonna expire in July.
Okay.
And I have to start. We filed tax once. This year we couldn't file together because my husband is owing IRS before we got married. So
Well, how much does your husband owe?
Come again?
How much does your husband owe?
Oh, I think 4,000. And then last year when we filed, we lost. So we owe IRS again, and I'm paying. And so this year I'm gonna file and I'm gonna renew my green card, and it's gonna expire in July.
So you have a
But the
2-year
problem
you have a
here is-
2-year green card, and you got to file a joint tax return with your husband, and he owes money. That's the problem.
This year, what we did was we did married but filed separate,
Okay,
and I wanted to.
you're wrong already. Okay, you're screwing up your case. Okay, you're screwing it up in 2 ways. Okay, number one, if you're not filing a joint tax return with your husband and taking a joint responsibility for your joint economic relationship, you're going to have a problem removing the conditions of your permanent residence. Number two, if your husband owes taxes and you can't afford to do it, there are ways around to get that taxes wiped away. That's why we have immigration attorneys here. That's also why we have tax attorneys, Carmela Waldron. Okay? What you need to do is you need to amend your tax returns, file a joint tax return, as well as attack the money that you owe and be able to prove to the government you can't afford to pay it. And then we can get it wiped away or substantially wiped away. It's called tax debt relief. So what I would suggest that you do is hold on 1 second, because the way you're going about this is wrong in 2 respects. One, it's going to cost you a lot of money that you don't have. And 2, it's going to cause you a problem with your immigration. You there still with me? You with me? Hold on, I don't know if she's still with me. 1-800-529-5465. Oulette in Palm Beach, Florida. Oulette.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
My sister filed for my brother maybe 30 years ago.
Right.
And my sister was adopted by my cousin, so they told my brother to get a birth certificate. His wife went and got a birth certificate, and they didn't give him the visa. They said it's fraud because he wasn't supposed to get a birth certificate. He was supposed to get the adoption papers. So they
who was filing for who?
My sister was filing for my brother.
Your sister? Okay, now is this a biological sister?
Yes, it's a biological sister, but she was adopted by my cousin.
Okay, so that they're no longer brother and sister. It is fraud.
Okay.
So once there's an adoption, you're not sisters anymore. You have new parents. The definition of sibling is you share the same mother and father. It is a fraud. So it's a problem. It's a big problem. Hold on 1 second. I don't have an answer, but certainly it is fraud. So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. That's the number to call to get on our show. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Bridget in Salisbury. Bridget.
Hi, Brett. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm calling because I petitioned the I-130 for my husband.
Right.
That was approved, but I'm wondering, could he adjust status in the United States?
What do you mean you filed a petition for your husband and it was approved and you want to adjust the status? Where's your husband?
I-130.
Where's your husband?
He's in the United States.
How long has he been here in the United States?
A little over a year.
How did he come here?
He was granted, from Mexico, crossed the border.
So he crossed the border without inspection from Mexico.
He has an I-94, but he was paroled into removal proceedings.
Put him on the phone. Put him on the phone.
Okay.
I want to tackle him.
All right.
All right, hold on. All right.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, good. Where are you from?
I'm from Haiti.
You're from Haiti. Okay, and you
Yes.
came across the border from Mexico and you got stopped at the border?
Yeah, they got me, but
And they paroled you into the United States?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and what'd you do? You filed for asylum?
No, I didn't.
Why were you paroled into the United States? What was the reason?
Removal proceeding.
Right, but what did you tell them? Why didn't they just deport you at the border? What did you tell them to allow them to?
I told them that I was looking like I had economic problems.
Economic problems is not a reason to parole you in. I think you probably applied for some form of asylum, and that's why you were paroled in. We would need to look to see what happened at the border before we can figure out how you're going to get your green card, but we can certainly help you. All right. So hold on 1 second, and we can help you even from Maryland. All right. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. That is the number to call. We had our correspondent down in Miami. We're going to get to Belgian Kim in a few minutes. But we had our correspondent down in Miami, Anna Ascona. She interviewed Rudy Vizcaino. I got it right. Rudy Vizcaino. And he is the chairman of the Dominican American National Foundation. And he's going to be talking with Anna about what's going on with his foundation and about his immigration story and how he's helping other Dominicans and everything else. Let's watch.
Hi, friends from The Brad Show. I'm Anna Ascona. Today I have with me Rudy Vizcaino. He's the chairman of the Dominican American National Foundation. Thank you, Rudy, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I was born to a Dominican mother, Cuban father, Brooklyn, New York, raised in Providence, Rhode Island, predominantly Dominican communities, especially New York, huge melting pot. And I moved here to Miami about 9 years ago, I want to say. So with us, my professional background is in Hispanic advertising and marketing. And I think that's about it.
What is it that you do for the Dominican American National Foundation?
I am the chairman of the board of directors for the Dominican American National Foundation. And about 4 or 5 years ago, we developed and trademarked this Dominican Heritage Night concept that we are now currently taking on a national tour. And our goal across the next 5 years is to execute at least one Dominican Heritage Night with all of the 132 professional sports teams across the 4 major sports leagues in the United States.
And why only sports?
We looked for the biggest platform for us to reach the largest audience. And more importantly, our mission is to permanently infuse Latino culture into the fabric of American society through the celebration of Dominican cultural heritage, achievement, and excellence. And when you think of America, what's more American than professional sports? For instance, we gave former Marlins player, now a Seattle Mariner, D. Gordon, a Danif Blue Flame of Achievement Award for starting a clean water program in the remote villages of the Dominican Republic. So he did something to help the Dominican way of life in the Dominican Republic.
And besides DANF, you're also involved with the Dominican community here in Alapata. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you do there for the Dominican community here in Miami?
Yeah, we launched a community beautification project called Quisqueya La Bella. So it's a series of murals as well as statues that are meant to galvanize the economy in that area, much like they did in Little Havana with the roosters, the gallos on Calle Ocho. We actually are creating a Muñeca Sin Rostros project where we will build these 7-foot statues of one of the most iconic souvenirs from the island, which is the Muñeca Sin Rostro, which represents all of the many races that make up the Dominican culture.
As a minority with an immigration background, do you feel like we live under pressure to prove society that we can do better in the States?
100%. And I'll speak to you as first a black man, then as a Latino, and then as a black Latino. So it's literally, you feel like you have to perform on 3 stages, and no one else has to do that. You understand me? So it's a delicate balancing act that can sometimes drive you nuts. Like, you just sometimes just want to just do something for the sake of doing it. But then you have to remember, okay, if you mess this up, you're messing it up for the rest of us.
What would you say is your definition of the American dream?
My definition of the American dream would be to just have the opportunity to dream, the opportunity to work hard to make your dreams come true, and actually even just dare to dream at all, because there's some countries where they don't allow you to dream. And even if you do dream, it's almost impossible to accomplish any of your dreams and goals. But definitely, that is, in my opinion, the American dream in a nutshell. Being able to dream, being able to work hard to pursue that dream, and possibly bringing that dream to life in the end.
Do you feel like you're living the American dream?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I've seen as an employee of corporate America, an entrepreneur, I've seen my fair share of ups and downs. I've gone from being a $28,000 a year employee to $150,000 plus as an executive. Entrepreneurial endeavors that have seen amazing returns, and then some that not so amazing. But that's the beauty of living in America. It gives you the opportunity to come from nothing, achieve something, lose it all, gain it all back, and it's all in one lifetime. And it's kind of, for me anyway, what makes life enjoyable.
Well, thank you so much, Rudy, for joining us. Can you please give a shout out to the Brad Show?
This is Rudy D. Vizcaíno, chairman of the Dominican American National Foundation. Want to give a huge shout out and thanks to the Brad Show for having me here today. Very appreciative. Thank you so much.
Right. Hello! Look who it is! I realized, Belgian Kim, that I've been not doing the right proper grammar. I have not been using the Queen's English when describing you. I was just told. I had a whole meeting today, and in the meeting it was like a 20-minute thing where where everyone was saying it's not Belgium Kim, it's Belgian Kim. I said I didn't even realize this. You have never corrected me, and then I go of course, and I was arguing no, it's Belgium Kim. And then everyone's like, no, it's not. Would you be called America Brad? No, you wouldn't be called America Brad. You would be called American Brad. Okay? Well, so it's not, but I said, but Belgium is the country. Exactly. But people from Belgium, which I didn't even realize, but I guess, because I say because, and I say Long Island, I thought Belgium and Belgian was the same thing, but apparently it is different. It would be like calling somebody, I guess, Jamaica, Vakeisha instead of Jamaican Vakeisha, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of split. Like, it's true. The proper is Belgian Kim. Like, a person who is from Belgium is Belgian.
Right.
But I kind of like the ring of Belgium Kim.
Yeah, but it's very funny because in our meeting, you weren't even there, but in our meeting, everyone was like, and the funny thing is, Kim's just going with it, and she's out on the street doing the man in the street, and she's introducing herself as, hi, I'm Belgium Kim, and she's just following along with whatever Brad is saying, and everybody has the wrong grammar. So now my question to you is this. We have to go with one. Okay? Only one. I said I would change it to Belgian Kim.
Yeah.
Would you rather? It's your name, not my name. Okay? It's your name, so you got to pick your own name. Okay? Unlike everybody else whose parents pick their name, but I'm not your parents. Okay? You're an adult, so you're going to pick your name. Is it A, Belgium Kim, or B, Belgian Kim? What are we going to go? What are we going to do?
Oh man. I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Split the baby in half. Call me North Carolina Kim.
Nope.
What?
No. I'm gonna leave this decision in the most powerful hands of all, Brad. I'm gonna let Brad Squad decide.
All right, Jeff Bosey wants to vote.
What you got?
Right, he wants to vote. By the way, Monday's vote is going to be whether we continue to whether we call him by his real name, Jeff Bosey, or we're going to call him or Jeff Bossy. we just change everybody's names here. All right, 1-800-529-5465. But right now, Kim is going Belgium. Is it going to be A, Belgium Kim, or B, Belgian Kim? One or the other. But either way, Belgian/Belgium Kim is going to be reading off your comments and questions. And by the way, Belgium Kim. Okay, at the end of I want you to pay attention to what everybody's talking about here. Okay, because at the end of the show, I'm going to ask you to recap the conversation because now that I'm flying solo here, I don't get a chance to read. So you just update me on what everybody has to say at the end of the show. Okay?
Okay.
So make sure so stay tuned because we're going to recap, the Brad Squad's comments, problems, and issues at the end of the show. In the meantime, we're going to read your immigration questions right now.
Okay, so our first question
Everybody
is from...
said, by the way...
Overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
By the way, was A Belgium or Belgian? I forgot now. Everybody's going A.
A was Belgium.
A was Belgium. Okay, fine. I forgot which A was. Okay, so everybody is voting. It's a landslide. In a landslide, nobody wants us. Everybody, and not a single person wants it to be proper or grammar. All right, in a landslide, throw the English books out the window. Throw it right out the window. It's a landslide. We are changing the English language. Brad Squad says it. Belgium Kim.
Listen, we march to the beat of our own drum.
That is correct. That is correct. That is correct.
Even if no one else hears the drum.
I hope like in 20 years this catches on and now everyone from Belgium calls themselves Belgium instead of Belgian. That we we make a word. Like how words get made. People start Xerox was not a real word. Xerox came from the Xerox copy company. Right. So it was they would be the only company in the world that had copy machines back in the day. So when you would go to a Xerox machine, it was a big Xerox, people in the workplace would go, "Hey, go to the Xerox." And then it was like, "Hey, can you make me a Xerox?" And now Xerox became a pseudonym for make a copy. It's actually in the Webster's dictionary.
So Velcro actually made a whole song about this 6 months ago called the Velcro song.
Oh, really?
Because people only call Velcro, but Velcro is actually the name of the company.
I did not know that.
That's call Velcro.
That is very funny.
They call
I did not know Velcro was a company. I just thought it was like a material that you kind of stick together and goes.
So
right?
Do you know what the name of the actual thing is?
The thing that you put together it's felt, maybe. I don't know what. What is it?
It's called hook ends loop.
Hook ends loop. Nobody calls it hook ends loop. Everyone's like, hey, we need some Velcro here. We need some Velcro here, right?
Absolutely.
We need some Velcro. Trust me, I need some Velcro. Go right across my mouth. I'm going to not talk for all weekend long. You know what? That would be the smartest thing in the world to do is, because I got to rest my throat from Monday because I got to talk again. The smartest thing in the world to do is get some hook and loop. Put it right across my mouth. Some hook and loop. Put it right across my mouth and I won't talk all weekend. All right. What is this? All cops is Coke? What is that? Bigly is not a real word? What's going on here?
I think that they're telling
What's going
us
on here?
Things are brands and not real.
Okay. All right. Oh, Coke. Oh, cola is a Coca-Cola. Oh, I understand.
Right.
Okay. So she was talking about
only
Coke.
ever call Coke Coke.
Right. You call it Coke. You never call it cola.
Right.
Nobody ever calls it cola.
Even if it's, although I will say, if it's
Right.
off-brand, I won't call it Coke. I would never disrespect Coke.
Right,
like
but you would
that,
call it a Pepsi. You still wouldn't call it a cola. You call a Pepsi a Pepsi. You call a Pepsi a Pepsi. You call it Coca Coke, right?
Yep. You would never call them cola.
You would never say, "Hey, can I have some cola, please?"
Yeah, that's so weird.
You'd
That
be
feels
like,
very 50s.
You'd be like, "No, loser. You don't get a cola."
Yeah,
You know.
a cup of cola.
Right.
Like it's very Midwestern for one reason or another,
Right.
but I can't figure out why.
I'm trying to think what
Midwestern.
other companies turned into
Well, like
English
Band-Aids.
words. Band-Aids. Yes, Band-Aid came from the
Band-Aids,
Band-Aid company.
Band-Aids,
Correct.
Right. Kleenexes.
Right.
Rollerblades is another company. All of this is in the Velcro song because they're like, we're not the only company that's fallen victim to this.
Is this did the Velcro company make the song up, or this was like a parody by somebody?
Oh no, they made the song up.
That's so funny. You have to show it to me.
I cannot. Oh man,
You know, like the etymology of words are really funny. Like, you know where upper crust came from?
No, a pie of some sort.
No,
I don't
because
know.
in the Middle Ages, the English royalty, when you would make bread, they would only eat the upper crust of the bread, and they would throw the rest of the bread out. So when somebody says, "Oh, you're part of the upper crust," comes from the Middle Ages because the English monarchy would only eat the upper crust of the bread. So it's really funny how all different. How language evolved over time.
Yeah.
Even back then, it came from a food. Calling somebody from the upper crust.
That's so crazy. I had no idea.
You never knew that one, right?
Our viewers are giving us some good ones too. Dawn Harriet said Pampers instead of diapers.
Very true.
That's true.
Yes,
I do say
Pampers instead of diapers, right?
I would say.
What else?
Tamika, duct tape. You call it DUCK.
Duct tape. Is it the Duck Company? What's?
It's Duck. It's the Duck Company.
Is it the Duck Company?
Tape,
oh, that's very funny.
It's duct tape. DUCT.
Right, but we call it duct tape.
But
right,
we call it duct
that's
tape.
the tape you use when you move and you put the duct tape over the the cartons, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's amazing how the language evolves. So that's why I said I want to evolve. In 20 years, we'll start the trend. We're going to start the trend. No one's going to call themselves Belgian anymore. They're going to call themselves Belgium. Let's see if that works.
And I really want you to bring it back because John Oliver last week was absolutely ripped Belgium to shreds.
Why?
He was talking about Trump's S-hole countries comment.
Right.
And he was like, it's never right to call any country S-holes. I understand that I have done that about Belgium, but let's face it, that country is an S-hole, and it is a walking chocolate gulag of.
I've never been there, but I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
That's you, May, but I'd like.
Have you? When was the last time? When was the last time you were in Belgium?
Like 8-9 months ago.
8-9 months ago. And was it an S-hole country? Is it an S-hole country?
Oh, tell
us about your country quickly in 30 seconds.
It has terrible weather. I will say that. However, Belgium
that's why everybody's pasty from Belgium. Right?
That is why we are all
very, very pasty from Belgium.
We never see the sun.
You never see the sun, right? Exactly. Right.
But it's an absolutely beautiful country. It's divided into two halves, really. So there's a ton of culture and a ton of it's lots of languages, lots of different types of ethnicities.
French, German, right?
It's mainly French and Flemish with a small German part. Yeah,
right.
It's like a Dutch dialect.
And what is Belgium known for?
We're known for our food. We're known for our beer,
Chocolates?
Our waffles, our chocolate, and the fact that we invented French fries. You welcome world, and of course the French stole it from us.
Invented French fries.
Fries is a thing.
Invented French fries.
We did. They should have called them Belgian fries.
America invented the hamburger. Thank you, world. We put it together with the Belgium French fry. All right, let's. What? Well, I mean, if you have to go down to you want thanks from the world for inventing the French fry. I mean, you didn't really do a lot there, Belgium.
Listen, I feel like we are real, and I feel like the hamburger French fry metaphor is actually kind of perfect for us, Brad.
Why?
Like you're like the big juicy main course that you really come for,
Right.
but I'm like
The little French fry. The French fry with the little ketchup.
that you dip through like every once in a while.
Right,
So.
or mayonnaise. Right. I want you to do the show with a French baguette and a beret one day.
And a beret.
Yeah.
Go,
and like a cigarette. And
and I could just speak French the whole time. Je parle français, je demande en
Yeah. Do it all in French with a beret, a cigarette, and a baguette.
Hello, Brad. Willie wants to know if you are applying labor approval.
No, I want you to say, you stupid American. You asked the stupid American, Brad. You're a stupid American. But you have to say it with your French accent. You're a stupid American, Brad.
A stupid American man.
You're a stupid American.
Should we answer some immigration
Yes,
questions?
please.
Brad?
Let's please, yes.
Willig would like to know, before applying for labor approval...
I'm a stupid American. I don't know the answer. All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. All right. What did you want to know?
Before applying for labor approval, a job sponsorship, what do you need to have in place?
Before doing the perm application, you have to do all right. So when you do a perm application, the first thing you got to do is your employer has to register online to do a perm application. You have to go on the Labor Department. They fill out a form. The Labor Department will then send the employer some sort of special code. Then they go back and they put in the special code. What the Labor Department wants to know is that this is a real employer. This is a real company. It's a real household if you're getting sponsored through the household. Okay. Then once you do that, you have to then request what's called a prevailing wage. Okay. So when you get sponsored in a job, you have to be able to prove that whoever you're sponsoring is not taking a job away from an American worker. So let's say, for example, we'll use Belgium Kim. We want to sponsor Belgium Kim, although you're a U.S. citizen now. But we want to sponsor Belgium Kim as our social media manager, hypothetically. Okay, and you came from Belgium. Okay, so we would have to go ask the New York State Department of Labor, what is the prevailing wage for a social media manager in New York City? They'll come back and they'll say the wage is $8 per hour. Okay, which is more than what we're paying you right now, I believe. But no, I'm only kidding. We're paying you more. But all right, let's say it's slightly more. So let's say it's $10 an hour. I'm just making it up. Okay, so let's say it's $10 an hour. Okay, they say that's the prevailing wage. Okay, so if it's $10 an hour and that's the prevailing wage, I have to offer you at least $10 an hour. If I'm going to offer you something less than $10 an hour, then you're undercutting the U.S. labor force.
I can't.
Okay, I don't think any job is $10 an hour anymore. But I just maybe I'm 20 years back. All right, let's call it $20 an hour. Okay.
In the South, our minimum wage is still like in the eights, I think.
Yeah, I think right. And in New York, it's 12 going up to 15. Yeah. So let's say it's $20 an hour. Okay, I just gave you a wage from 20 years ago. Let's say it's $20 an hour. Okay, hypothetically, and I say, okay, Kim, I just want to hire you for 18. That labor application is going to be denied because I got to pay you the prevailing wage of similarly employed workers. So we then get the prevailing wage, and then depending on the job, whether it's a professional in nature or a skilled worker, you have to test the labor market at that wage. You got to run advertisements in newspapers looking for an American to be the social media manager at the wage in which the Labor Department says is the wage. And then anybody who applies for the job, you have to interview. And if you find qualified applicants, you can't do job sponsorship because obviously we found a qualified applicant. And sorry, Belgium Kim, you're taking a job from an American. But maybe nobody applies for the job, but one person applies for the job and they have no experience. Now we've proven that we've looked for an American to do this job at the prevailing wage. And nobody's applied for the job, or very few people applied for the job. The few that did don't have those qualifications. Now you can file the perm application. So it's a good 6-month process or even more before from when you start a job of sponsorship before you even get to filing the perm application.
That makes complete sense, Brad.
Thank you.
That makes absolutely.
Thank you.
I do one like weird follow-up to that though. How extensive, like, does the job end up having to prove that they had a really extensive job search, or is just like a, hey, I put it in the newspaper that nobody
it depends on what the job is. If it's professional in
Okay.
nature, you have to do more. If it's something skilled or unskilled but not professional in nature, then you can do less recruiting. So it depends on what the job is. There's certain jobs that the labor department has already predetermined there's a labor shortage of. Registered nurses, for one. So if you get sponsored as a registered nurse, it's already predetermined. There's a labor shortage for registered nurses. So, it depends on what the job is.
So that means that registered nurses are therefore more likely to find work because there is a labor shortage in the United States?
Foreign registered nurses, yeah.
Got it.
Right.
Missionary would like to know, what's the best way to file for your mother visiting, but she has not yet overstayed in the country, and I want to file for her to stay.
Is missionary an American citizen?
I'm not certain about that.
Okay, missionary has to be an American citizen. And
Okay.
then if the mother's here more than 90 days on a visitor's visa, we can do what's called an adjustment of status.
Spencer says, I've got a question on behalf of a friend. He was very happy to have found a job that did not require him to have papers, but he's currently out of status. Is there going to be an issue if he keeps working without authorization while his wife files for him?
No. The fact that you work out of status, as long as you're being sponsored by an American citizen, does not prevent you from getting your green card.
We've got David who wonders if biometrics have been done yesterday, when can he expect to get his work permit?
2 months, 2.5 months.
Yalab says, if my brother's dad cannot find his citizenship certificate, what can he do to help my brother get his citizenship?
What, is the brother under 18? The brother's under 18. The fact that he doesn't have a naturalization certificate is no big deal. The brother can still file an N-600. Right? He's still a citizen, can file an N-600, and immigration could look up that the father's a citizen. So, if the kid's over 18, it has nothing to do with the father. He has to naturalize himself, unless he was under 18 when the father was a citizen. I mean, there's a lot depends on it. So, we need to know a lot more information on that one.
Sophia wonders, I know someone who overstayed and then got married, I'm assuming to a U.S. citizen and or green card holder. What's the first thing they should be filing?
An adjustment application, which is everything, all at once, the whole kit and caboodle. I-485, I-130, I-765, I-131, I-864, along with all the supporting documents.
Sam would like to know, I came here with a working visa, and I'm not certain that it's the groundhog, but he may have.
Every time somebody says it's Sam, I'm always thinking like it's Groundhog Sam.
The groundhog has literally come up to ask an immigration question. The groundhog works for an immigration attorney, though. He hypothetically wouldn't need immigration advice.
He has questions. He's got questions.
Groundhog immigration is very hot topic.
Yeah, it is a hot topic. It is.
Sam wants to know, I came here with a working visa. I just want to ask how or what I need to do to get a green card, or is there a possibility that I can can I adjust my status?
Sam, Sam, you're asking me for an entire consultation. I have no idea. How do I get we get this once a week. How do I get a green card? I can't answer that. Okay, we need to sit down and talk 15, 20 minutes. It's I got married and I need to know X, Y, Z. That's a different story. Or I want to get sponsored in a job. How do I do it? Or, that's a different story. I can answer specific questions. The general, how do I get a green card question, you need a consultation.
Mirna says, I'm from the Philippines and I married an American man in June of 2005. But my husband has not yet filed for me. But now I'm here in the U.S. on
What's going on here? 12 years you're married and he never filed for you? Huh? What's going on here?
Right. So here's the question, right? Yeah. Now she's here on a visitor's visa, but being sponsored by an employer.
Okay, you're going to end up I'm not sure what's going on. You may end up overstaying your time. You need to speak to me.
That was the question. There
could be a fraud issue with what his intention was or her intention was when she entered. Was she coming to work on a visitor's visa? That's a whole other story.
Anna Lisa says, I'm an American citizen and I'm engaged to a Kenyan citizen. We currently live in Texas and came here legally in 2005. He came here legally in 2005 on a student visa. He also did work study while in college and successfully filed for a social security number at that time. Following his graduation, he used his driver's license and social security card and current nursing license to get a job as a nurse. And he's been working at the same employer for about 10 years. But he's been out of status for several years, ever since I met him. ICE visited him at work once and asked him to check in at their office, which he did. And then he received a letter asking to self-deport, but he didn't do it. So only after they were seriously involved with her now fiance did he actually reveal that he was out of status. And she's really wondering whether at this point, is there any way to adjust once they're married? She loves him and she's really scared, but she's
Sounds
really
like
scared.
he got ordered deported and he didn't leave the country. So he's got a big problem. He's got a warrant out for his arrest. First step is go marry. You love him? Go marry him. Because if you don't marry him, he's going to eventually be out of the country. ICE is going to come knock on the door. Then, number two, you got to get your marriage approved. You got to try to reopen the deportation case if that's what happened. There's no ICE asked him to voluntarily leave. He went to a judge and he took something called voluntary departure and he didn't leave the country. That's probably what happened. All right, so he's going to need to reopen his case. And you're in Texas, and Texas, a lot of the judges have like big hats. Big hats.
The 10-gallon hat, the spurs on the boot.
Right, like toothpick out of the side of their mouth.
Yep, big aviators on.
Yeah, they're not big immigrant, they're not big people on Kenya over there.
I was just about to say, they're not really Kenyan champions.
Yeah, not champions of the Kenyanese.
No.
Is that
No.
now I'm making up a new word, the Kenyanese.
You're right.
Right, like
So
Japanese.
We're just gonna
rename all the nationalities. So, A, be careful. B, you need a really good lawyer.
Christopher says, I'm wondering if you could help me get to know my biological father. This is a crazy question, Brad. So I did one of those ancestry DNA things, and they came up with a really rare match of like a biological match to someone else. And so I emailed that person, and she told me that she was my aunt. And she told me that she'd spoken to my father's brother and said that he was not ready to speak to me or even get in touch with me. Is there anything that you could do from a legal perspective to help me meet him?
No. I assume you're an adult. I mean, I can't. You've called the relative in question. It's actually kind of funny because I've done that thing too. I did it on 23andMe, and then I noticed that my niece and my nephew, AJ and Allie, did it, and I didn't even realize. And then I'm like, oh yes, my niece and nephew there. They put us together. They figured that one out. So.
That's so creepy and cool.
Yeah, but we didn't tell each other. I just happened to have seen it. So the answer is there's nothing I can do. I mean, short of we can I guess hire a private investigator, but you don't need me to do that. You can do that yourself to go search out where this man is, and then I think at that point it's like one of those bring the camera. Maybe we'll bring the Brad Show live cameras behind you and go knock on the guy's door and like, Dad, I'm here, and see his reaction and hope we all don't get shot. But short of that, there's no legal maneuver to force the guy to talk to you.
Force the guy to meet. Rosemarie says, my sister's daughter will be having her debutante, like her cotillion type of situation in November. I really want to witness her 18th birthday. I applied for a tourist visa at the U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi, but I was denied. I've been in the Philippines since 2007. Could you advise me on how to apply for for a visitor's visa?
Yes. Show you have enough ties to the Philippines that you're going to return to the Philippines. You need to show ties.
Even though she's applying for Abu Dhabi, I'm assuming she's a citizen of Abu Dhabi.
No, you wouldn't be a citizen of Abu Dhabi. You wouldn't be a citizen. You're a guest worker. You're a guest worker at the UAE. They don't make you unless you are, born into the UAE nationality, which is the Arab nationality. I don't think they make foreigners citizens, but they're all. There's a lot of guest workers there.
No, that's the case. So she was born in the UAE in Abu Dhabi.
I don't know.
and
I still don't think. I still think she's not a citizen. I don't believe she's a citizen. But maybe she is. But I believe I was there in Dubai, and I think that is not the law in Dubai. But nevertheless, prove ties to Abu Dhabi that you're going to return to Abu Dhabi. Okay, the fact that you were born there may prove it. Who knows? And then also I think if she, there's law, it's weird laws there that if you leave for more than a certain amount of time, then you lose your permanent resident status. They don't let you back.
And so if she's currently living in the Philippines, does she prove ties to the Philippines or to the country of which she's a citizen?
Philippines.
Gotcha. Where
she's not a citizen of UAE, and she may have already given up her permanent residence there. I'm not sure.
Right.
Right.
Murad would like to know, can a green card holder apply for an I-130 and an I-485 together for a spouse?
Yes.
Or should he wait until he gets his citizenship to file for the I-485?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not a citizen. No, you can't file the I-485 until you're a citizen. Just do the I-130 right now.
I-130 first,
Correct.
citizenship, I-485.
Right. Let's do this, Kim. Let's do 2 or 3 more. And then we have some people waiting on hold. And we have some other blocks to get to. I have blocks here.
We have blocks. We are a very structured show.
Very structured, and I break the structure all the time. Okay. We are. By the way, we are in. We're in block. We have to get through block L. Okay. And we are 1 hour and 10 minutes into our show, and we are in block C. We have to go to D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. We have 11 more things to do in 40 minutes. Perfect. I'm right on time. All right, so let's do 2 or 3 more, okay? And then we'll come back to you at the end.
Harry says, I'm an American citizen and married my husband in 2015. We did the interview in November of 2017, and we left the interview really not knowing where my husband stands. All they said is they'll let us know by mail. I called USCIS, and they said my husband's case is still pending. What can we do?
Call me. It's been more than 4 months. You call Brad.
We've got Arlene who says, is there another source I can go to look up the dates that I've traveled outside the U.S. and how many days I've stayed out rather than just my passports? Because some of the stamps are really illegible.
I guess presumably you can get what's called, do a CBP for you, but it's going to take you over a year to figure that one out. Do the best of your ability by counting the days for your citizenship. You can put on the application approximately.
I think, I've got one more kind of short one. I was going to say the other 3 that I've got are kind of long, but I've got one quick one. Anita says, I have a cousin who's a Canadian citizen, but he's in the United States at the moment because he unfortunately became homeless due to his parents. Is there any way that because of this situation, he can now become a legal citizen or resident here in the U.S.?
How old is he?
Doesn't say.
I don't, the fact that you became homeless does not really give you a lot of benefits here. Okay, it's actually kind of, not helpful rather than helpful, unless of course you're a minor. Then maybe we can do some sort of sitch.
Okay, I'm going to squeeze in one final question.
You told me that was the final. Okay, fine. One more.
I know, just one more.
I got Dawn, Maria, Sarah. We got lots of people we got to speak to here.
I'm not going to keep them waiting any longer. I'm just going to say, am I a U.S. citizen? I am a U.S. citizen. I've got a 2-year order of protection, and I want to marry the same girl and file for her. Can I do that?
No, you got to have the order of protection lifted first, because then you violated it. And as soon as you show up, and as soon as you show up to the interview, guess what will happen? You'll be arrested.
Even though the girlfriend is like, no, it's fine, we're together.
Yeah.
Wow.
So go back to the court and get the order lifted. Maybe get a lawyer, ask them to make an application. All is well, we want to get married, blah, blah, blah.
Perfect. Thanks, Brad.
All right, we'll be back. We're going to be back. So Belgium, Kim, everybody picked A. It's Belgium, Kim. We're making up our own language now. And we're going to be back to talk to Belgium, Kim, at the end of our show. So keep those questions coming on Facebook. We're going to answer all of them by the end of our show. Telephone number to call. Our lines are open, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Dawn in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Dawn.
Hello?
How are you, Dawn?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
I was wondering, yes, travel on the work program. So I was wondering if I can do something to stay legally to work.
You came here on the work, what, like an H-2B visa?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been here?
This is my 12th year. Just came up in February.
So your question,
and I'm going on in
your question is, I want to get a green card. Okay,
Right.
I don't have the answer for you. I guess perhaps there's things we can do to help. Maybe we can't. I think this requires a consultation for you. So hold on 1 second, okay? Let's go to Maria in St. Petersburg, but I assume this is Florida, not Russia. But let's find out.
It's Florida.
It is Florida. Okay, how are you?
Hi, Brad.
What's going on?
I watched your show for
Thank you.
3 years.
Oh wow!
Actually, so
And it's your
I'm a big
first
fan.
call. And your first call.
It's my first call.
Okay.
Okay, so I have my interview next week for my citizenship.
Right.
And I am freaking out. So.
What are you freaking out about?
Well, okay. Well, I got my green card through marriage.
Okay, so far so good.
And I was married to my ex-husband for 9 years.
Okay. When did you get your green card? When did you get your green card?
2007.
Okay. All right. And it was a good marriage, I assume, right?
It was.
Okay. I mean, it was a real marriage. It wasn't like some business.
It was, yeah, it was a real marriage.
Okay,
it was a good marriage.
And
I was married to him for
okay. And
for 9 years.
when you got your green card in 07, was that a 2-year card or a permanent card?
It was a 2-year.
Okay. And then you went to remove the conditions of your permanent residence. You were still married. You showed it was not a BS marriage, and you got your permanent green card. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then
and when did you separate? When did you separate from your husband?
We got divorced in 2016.
Okay. Now, have you ever been arrested for any reason?
No, but I did get like a ticket for a fender bender.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna
That's
let
all right.
them
You can't
know.
be denied citizenship because you're a bad driver. What are you freaked out about? Tell me what you're freaked out about.
Okay, I'm freaked out because our divorce was pretty
nasty.
It was nasty.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nasty, and we fought over our house.
Okay.
Which, ironically, we still own together.
Uh-huh.
We finally made up and decided it's cheaper to own it and not sell it.
Okay.
But during that time, my ex-husband went to court and tried to get an order of protection from me to kind of keep me away from the house.
Okay.
It was denied, but I'm just worried that, it's going to make me look bad on the interview.
Nah, you have nothing to worry about. Nothing you have told.
Okay.
I am positive. I ain't SHITTINGU. Okay. There's absolutely nothing about that would concern me one iota. Okay. You're a good person. You went through a bad divorce. Okay. If it's even brought up, which you never had an order of protection against you, it was just the husband tried to do something. One in a million it's even brought up. It's just like, listen, I went through a nasty divorce. He tried to make accusations against me. It wasn't obviously true because there was never an order of protection issued, period. Okay, but there's nothing you have told me that would lead me to lose 1 second of sleep over your citizenship interview. Don't worry. Don't freak out. You're fine.
Okay, because my concern is because I don't have any documentation because it never went through. It was
Don't worry
denied.
about it.
So
You're
I don't have.
You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. You're basically, I just repeated generally what you just told me, and that would be fine what I just said.
Okay.
All right. So you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Sleep well.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Good luck. 1-800-529-5465. Sarah in Brooklyn, New York. Sarah.
Hey, Brad. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Well, I just got married to a U.S. citizen. I just want to know the papers that I need to file for. And I have kids in Jamaica, so what do you think I should file for them?
Yep.
At the same time?
Yep. All right. So you married a U.S. citizen. How'd you come here in the United States?
Okay, I came on a tourist visa.
Okay. When did you come?
It's 2 years this month.
So you're going to file, you have a pen and paper?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. If I talk too fast, you stop me, okay?
All right,
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. I-45, I-130, I-765, I-864.
Okay.
I'm only kidding.
I-45.
All right, start again. I'm only kidding with you. I-45,
Mm-hmm.
I-130, both
Yes.
the A and B form. I-130A, the I-130 and the I-130A, the supplement because you're here. So you have to do the I-45, the I-130, the I-130A. The I-765, which is your work permit.
Yes.
The I-131, which is your advance parole.
Yes.
The I-864 affidavit of support.
I-864?
I-864. That's it. I just told you all the folks.
Okay.
All right. And if you have a problem, come see me. You're in Brooklyn, but you can take a look at everything, and then, up to you what you want to do.
Oh, where in Brooklyn are you?
I'm not in Brooklyn. I said you're in Brooklyn. I'm in Manhattan.
Oh, yeah. You're in the city. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And then separately, that's for you. Separately, you're going to file an I-130, separate I-130s for each of your children. You should do it all together. It's fine.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Best of luck.
All right,
Hold on. 1-800-529-5465. Laura in Memphis, Tennessee. Laura.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What's going on?
Well, I'm calling because I've been married to my husband since 2006.
Right.
And I'm trying to get his status, get him a green card.
Right.
The thing is that I've always filed my tax return as head of household.
Yeah, you shouldn't. All right.
And
you got to file a joint tax return with him because you got to show you have an economic. When you file a joint tax return, when you have to prove it's a real marriage, we say this all the time, but I want you to listen and understand. When you have to prove it's a real marriage, what immigration looks at is this: do you have an economic relationship? Do you live together? Okay. So how do you prove an economic relationship? An economic relationship is you both are jointly 100% responsible for all of your debts and all of your assets and everything you own. So that's why we say, okay, have a, if you buy a house, have it jointly. If you're going to be on a lease, have it jointly. And the same thing with taxes. If you're filing taxes separately, you're telling the government, I'm not responsible for him, and he's saying he's not responsible for you. And now all of a sudden there starts being questions on what is the validity of this marriage? Is it a bona fide marriage? Which is why you always have to do a joint tax return whenever you're trying to prove to the government that it is a real marriage.
Okay, because I was being advised supposedly that it's okay for me to go ahead and add them this year, but I don't know if I have to go back to
I don't know
years.
I don't know what add-em means. You should be filing a joint tax return for every year you were married. Okay, so if you got married in 2017, you just file a joint tax return for 2017. If you got married in 2016, then you got to go back. You should amend your taxes. Okay, but we can certainly help you. Hold on one second. Even from Memphis, Tennessee, okay, that's the home of Elvis, right? That's what Memphis, Tennessee is famous for. Even from Memphis, Tennessee, we can help you. We can do it by phone. So hold on one second, okay? All right, let's go to Sarah in San Francisco, California. Sarah.
Hi. So I have a question. My husband, his parents, they're both American citizens.
Right.
And all his siblings, they're all American citizens. So there's 5 of them. And my husband is the second oldest, but he was the only child that was born in Samoa, which is one of the Polynesian islands. And is there any way that his family can file for him, but he's married and he's over age now?
Well, his
he's the only one.
Citizens?
His both parents are American citizens.
Okay, now the
And
parents
his siblings are all
the parents were citizens after he was born, right?
Yes, they were citizens towards the end. The
Towards
siblings,
the end of what?
The siblings. They just got their
Just recently.
Recently.
Okay,
They just
so yeah,
got their citizenship.
unfortunately, this is the big debate in America right now. They're saying end chain migration. It's not really chain migration because when you're filing for a married son, you're a parent filing for a married son. It takes 12, 13, 14 years, unfortunately. So that's the process. File the I-130 visa petition. Now, are there other ways that we can help them? Maybe, there's a job sponsorship opportunity. Maybe there's some, investment opportunities. That I don't know. But in terms of the parents literally filing for him, it's a 12, 13-year wait. But the way you start is by filing an I-130 visa petition.
I-130?
Yes, I-130.
Okay, so is that including because he has a wife and a
So
and a son?
they would include you would include the wife, and the son would be included as long as he gets his green card before the son turns 21. But it's a long, long wait. So what I would suggest you do is hold on for a second and maybe have a phone consultation with us. Even from San Francisco, we can do phone consultations and see what other options you have. If that's the only option, so be it. But let's see what it is, okay?
Okay. Okay then.
Hold
okay.
on one second.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay. So, camera one is over here. I keep getting confused. All right. Rosita in Queens. Rosita, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm glad we're all good. What's up?
Could be better. Could be better.
I could be better too. You want to know how I could be better? If I can help you. Let's see if we can help. What's up?
I know. Am I being recorded? I'm going to be on YouTube or something?
You are being recorded right now, so if you don't want to be on air, hold on one second, okay? 1-800-529-5465. Okay, so now we sent our crew out onto the streets, okay? One of the things that, we always get the questions of marriage and, how do you prove it's a marriage? Well, you prove it's a bona fide marriage by living together, knowing each other's routines, and having the same joint economic relationship. And Americans, we don't believe Americans realize what it takes to prove it's a real marriage. So we went out on the streets. We've done this before. We've gone out on the streets and we asked Americans questions that people would get on interviews if you were one American citizen marrying a foreigner to prove it's a bona fide marriage. Let's see if two Americans who have no immigration issues whatsoever could pass an immigration interview. This is the Bradified Marriage segment.
Hey Brad Squad, it's Belgium Kim from Brad Show Live, and we are in Brooklyn for part 2 of asking couples questions from the Stokes interview. Could they pass it? Let's find out how they did. Kimberly and Sohail. What is you and Kim's anniversary?
The 14th of February.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our anniversary is February 14th. No, February 10th. February 10th, definitely. I have it on a hat.
You both gave the wrong answer. Kim course corrected. Sohail, what's your anniversary?
The 14th.
Wow, it's the 10th. The 10th. You gave me the hat. I remember the 10th.
Well, I don't remember.
You even gave me a necklace that said February 10th, our anniversary.
I think the necklace says the 14th.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, yeah.
What is Sohail's shoe size?
That's easy. It's size 10.
What is Kim's shoe size?
7.
Kim, what shoe size do you wear?
I wear size 7.
And what did Sohail say?
7.
Now here's the surprising part. Sohail, what shoe size do you wear?
9.5.
You wear 10.
Sometimes. Depends what shoes.
What brand of shampoo does Sohail use?
He actually uses whatever his mother gives him, which is it's L'Oreal. No, I don't think so. I have no idea.
I use Trey Sesame or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I know. Tresemme.
Oh la la.
I believe she uses the same shampoo I use.
What brand of shampoo does Sohail use, Kim?
Tresemme.
What brand of shampoo does Kim use, Sohail?
The same one?
Yeah, pretty much the same one, yeah. But it's really silicone, the deep conditioner.
What kind of toothpaste does Kim use? What's the brand?
Crest.
Does Sohail use a different brand of toothpaste?
Yes, he does. He uses Colgate. He hates Crest. He says tastes nasty. He uses Colgate.
How come you guys have different brands of toothpaste?
I have sensitive teeth.
What brand of toothpaste do you each use?
I use Crest and he uses Colgate. Did we get that right?
You guys did get that right. What was your very first date together?
Very first date? At a restaurant. Not sure which restaurant, but I believe at a restaurant.
Where was the restaurant?
In Queens.
And what kind of restaurant was it?
I don't remember, but I believe it was a restaurant. I don't remember the exact date or where it was, but I believe it was a restaurant.
Our first date, I don't really remember. I remember him taking me to this really fancy restaurant at a buffet, and Long Island. I thought it was lovely.
Any idea what that restaurant was called in Long Island?
Yeah, it was a Chinese buffet. It's my favorite.
First ever date together. Y'all, where did you go?
We went to the Chinese buffet in Long Island.
I knew it was a restaurant. I didn't know where.
What is the very first present you ever bought Kim?
The first present I bought her, I think, was a pair of shoes.
What'd they look like?
They were like furry on the inside, and they had like tiger print, something on the outside, like giraffe kind of thing.
That sound like dope shoes.
Yeah, they were cool.
Ooh, I bought him so many gifts. The first gift I ever gotten him, I think it was a coat from Jimmy Jazz. When his coat was lost or stolen, whatever, I bought him a brand new coat that same day.
The very first gift that you guys got each other. Kim, what's the very first gift that Sohail bought you?
Sohail bought me a Movado watch. And I thought it was really sweet.
Sohail, what was the first gift you thought you bought her?
First present I bought her, I think, was a pair of shoes. I forgot my answer.
Shoes.
Shoes. Oh yeah, shoes. Remember the leopard shoes with the fur on the inside?
Oh yeah, that's right. The leopard shoes. That wasn't a gift. Because I picked those out. Doesn't count.
Did he pay for them?
Yeah, he paid them.
It's a gift.
Really? Okay.
Sohail, what was the first present that Kim ever bought you?
A watch.
Really? The watch? Yes, it was a watch. I said the jacket from Jimmy Jazz.
Oh yeah, that was before the watch. That definitely was.
Yeah, it was a coat.
So both of you answered watch and won, and neither of those answers were correct. A watch was never the first present for either of you?
No.
No. So there you have it, Brad Squad. If you need help preparing for your green card interview and you're worried about passing your Stokes interview with your spouse, just give the attorneys at Spar Bernstein a call at 1-800-529-5465. Until next time, I'm Belgian Kim with Bradshaw Live.
All right, we're back. So apparently, we're now 0 for 2. We've went out on the streets, and Americans cannot pass simple immigration interviews. They would have failed, absolutely. Let's find Belgium Kim, because we haven't seen her enough already, and let's continue with our social. Hello again.
Hello, hello.
You're like becoming the star of the show here. All right, we don't get enough of Belgium Kim. All right.
French fries to your
French
Brad.
fries. All right. So what else we got on social media?
So we've got German. German Cody. He does it right. He's not Germany Cody. He's German Cody.
Right. I think he should be German Cody.
He says, my mom wants to do her citizenship, but she's not super fluent in English because she's only been here for 5 years. She's going to be 66 in June. How do you suggest that she pass her citizenship test?
Learn English, or wait until 15 years you've been here. Those are your options.
You've got to be here 15 years to not take the...
to not take the English portion and be over 55.
Okay. So she's got to wait another 10
Wait
years.
10 years or learn English, one or the other.
Or learn, right.
Yeah.
What do you think will be faster?
I don't know. It's going to be a close call.
Morad would like to know, my N400 already passed the time frame on the USCIS website. We called and requested the service request management tool, but the answer was that we can't give you a specific time. Another family member has already submitted their N400 2 months after I did mine, and they've already passed their interviews.
Great.
How does that work? We all live within the same zip code.
Maybe you screwed up your citizenship forms. I have no idea. Maybe you have something in your background that other people don't. I have no idea. Maybe you mailed it to the wrong place. I have no idea. Maybe immigration's inefficient. I have no idea. There could be 100 reasons why.
Marva says, I got my green card last March and I need to file for my kids in Jamaica. It is not a conditional green card. Can I do that? And if I can you assist me?
Yes.
Yes. Patrick says, I'm a Jamaican tractor trailer driver with over 16 years of experience, and I'm currently in the U.S. visiting, and I'd like to live and work here legally. A friend of mine operates a trailer company here, and since I know how to drive, he recommended you to me. How can you help me with some of the information about what my legal rights are and how I get it?
You can get sponsored in a job. I'm not sure if sponsored in a job as a tractor trailer driver is going to be the way to go, because you don't have a license to be a tractor trailer driver. You need to get the license Other than that, you can't drive the tractor. And you can't get a license until you get a green card, because what state's going to give you the driver's license without the green card? And then so maybe tractor trailer driver is not the sponsorable job. Maybe something else is. I don't know. I think it starts with a consultation.
Jeanette says, my husband filed my I-130 for my daughter and myself. He's a citizen, and our priority date is just 2 days before Belgium Kim's birthday.
Which is when?
November 6th. November 6th, 2017. But we haven't gotten a reply yet.
This is permanent resident spouse?
Husband is a citizen, and he is filing for his spouse.
Where is the spouse?
I don't know where Jeanette is. I'm going to guess
in another country
here, because it doesn't seem like they're apart.
Okay, when did this filing happen? 2 days before your birthday, but I'm not familiar with your
priority. Birthday. Shame on you.
I am sorry,
but
I don't know your birthday, Belgium Kim.
That'll be.
Wouldn't it be ironic if it was like the Belgium Independence Day, if there's such a thing? Or there was no Independence Day from Belgium, right? You always had a king or queen, I guess.
We have like a Belgian Pride Day.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We do.
Is that also your birthday, Belgian Pride Day?
No, and I actually don't know
what day that is.
When it is.
So what is the date? What is this date? Let's figure this out.
November 6th, 2017 is their priority date.
So you've got a while to go. It takes about 9 months.
Okay. So they shouldn't be too worried quite yet.
No, but they should have gotten, if she's here in America, she should have been fingerprinted.
Okay. Should they, it says they haven't gotten a reply. Should they have received a receipt by now, at least?
If you didn't get a receipt, call me immediately. You did something wrong.
Laura says, my friend wants to get a green card for her husband. How long is that going to take for him to be approved? And about what's the cost of the process?
Your friend wants to get a green card for a husband. Where's the husband?
We don't know. We have a list of things that we really need from people to get a comprehensive.
Can you tell them, please? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Folks, we need to know where are you in this beautiful world of us?
Right.
If you're in the U.S., how did you get here?
Right.
Do you have any relatives that live in the U.S.? And if you do, are they citizens or are they residents?
Then we can start at that, and then we can go from there.
Then we can do that. That's a good base.
That's a good place to start.
Yes.
Okay, what else we got?
Kurt says, can I marry my girlfriend even though I just got a divorce?
Yes, why not?
Why not? Fall in love, Kurt.
Right.
Fall in love.
All right, let's do one or two more.
Okay, Missionary says, she did clarify. So Missionary is an American citizen. Mom is here on a visitor's visa, but she wants mom to stay somehow.
File the adjustment after mom's been here 90 days. It's not a somehow, that's what you do, but wait 90 days. Come see me if you're not sure what to do.
Okay. And Kimmy says, what are the necessary papers I need to file to get married to a U.S. citizen?
Didn't we do that already? I told the woman, hey, write it down. I'll say it again.
You know what? She's literally a different person because we get this question 18 times a day.
She's a different person. All right, so I'll give her the answer, okay? I'll give her the same answer to a different person. I-485, I-130, I-765, I-131. Oh, by the way, I-130 and I-130A. Let me start again because I screwed up. I-485, I-130, I-130A, I-765, I-131, I-864. Or it's called an adjustment package, and they'll just send you a whole package. Just call USCIS. All right, Kim. Before you leave, I wanna talk to you about Moshe, our caged animal.
Oh.
Okay, our caged animal. I want to talk to you about the caged animal. Jeff Bosey loves the caged animal. Okay, so for those who watch on a regular basis, we had a success little video at the beginning of our show for a couple of weeks with Bernadette and Moshe. Bernadette, because Moshe was a caged animal. Because when he goes to court, I mean, he's very calm in the office. When he goes to court, he goes crazy, but he goes crazy in a good way, not crazy like, oh my God, I have a lunatic of a lawyer.
No, you want him on. You want
these guys on my side type of crazy.
Right. Yeah.
So Moshe came in. A lot of times we get questions, and a lot of because we're an immigration firm, we also do personal injury and construction accidents as well as criminal defense and divorce and tax. But a lot of times in the personal injury realm, people who are something less than American citizens are now terrified to go to court because they're scared, what about my immigration status? And a lot of times people are getting taken advantage of in the workplace when they get injured, all sorts of things, which is why it's such a great thing that I think that we have personal injury attorneys and immigration attorneys here working together, because if you are something less than an American citizen, you can, and you want to bring an accident suit, and by all means you should, because you're entitled to. You're entitled to be reimbursed for your pain and suffering and your lost wages and your medical and everything else, and you're absolutely entitled to. You shouldn't be scared to do it or lose out on your rights of things that you're able to do simply because you're scared about your immigration status. So I brought Moshe in a little earlier today to talk about that. Let's watch. So most people don't realize that if you get into an accident, whether it's an automobile accident, so most people say apparently what happened is that the gods don't want us to hear what happens if you're out of status. We'll play that. We'll play that maybe Monday then, unless Jill tells me it's okay now. Let's go back to Kim with some more social media checking. Kim, what else you got for me?
Okay, we've got Natalie, who says, my cousin came to the U.S. on a fake passport and then got sent back from the airport. Her flight was the next day, so they took her to a holding
not only
center.
did you get sent back, you got deported.
You got deported, right.
Fraud. Big deal.
Huge problems.
Yes.
Already out the gate, first
Correct.
sentence,
Correct.
mega issues.
Correct.
So her flight was the next day, so they took her to a holding center just outside the airport to stay overnight. Can she get a visa to attend her church convention and a business seminar now?
No. You got deported, lady. You committed fraud. That's like 2 permanent bars for life. You need lots of waivers.
Even if it's to go to a church convention.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Even people who are religious sometimes break the law and have to pay for it.
We've got another Natalie. The sheer amount of Natalies in our comments right now is causing quite the confusion in terms of
why is there a lot of Natalies? What's going on? Natalie's big deal, Natalies.
Yeah, we've got like 4 Natalies in right now.
Okay.
So our Natalie number 2 says, can I file if my mom is for my mom while I receive Social Security? I'm a citizen.
Can you file for your mom if you receive Social Security? You're a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
You're receiving Social Security disability payments. Absolutely. You may need a second affidavit of support, or maybe you're retired and you're 65 and maybe mom is 80 or 85 or whatever it is. Yeah, certainly. But you still may need an affidavit of support from somebody else.
Laura says, my friend wants to get a green card for her husband. So this was the follow-up to Laura's question. She was saying, friend wants to get a green card for her husband. How long is it going to take to be approved, and about what's the cost?
Right.
He's been here since 2001, and he entered without inspection.
Well, if you enter without inspection, you're not going to be able to adjust here unless you're 245I, unless your spouse is in the military and you can do a parole in place. So we need to find those out first. If we can, then he'll adjust here, he'll pay a penalty fee. If he can't, then he's got to do a provisional waiver and pay some other different fees. So we need to know a lot more. And we're not going to be able to figure it out by going back and forth. It's going to be in a consultation.
Joan has a whopper of a question.
Whopper.
A whopper. You know, sometimes I tell you to like strap yourself in and just hold on for dear life. This is, This is one of those times. Stretch out, eat your Wheaties, let's go. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Do you feel prepped? Do you
I'm
feel ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. Joan says, I've got a very complicated case.
Okay.
And she's not playing. My name's Kelly, and I'm from Jamaica. I've
Wouldn't
been
it be
married.
great if the answer's just yes?
Yes. And I've got a yes or no
Yeah,
question
okay,
for
go
you.
ahead.
My name's Kelly. I'm from Jamaica. I've been married 3 times. I'm about to do my 4th marriage. My first marriage was out of the U.S. and it lasted 4 years. My second was with a permanent resident that unfortunately got sick and died, and that marriage lasted about 6 months. My third marriage, I applied for a change of status twice, and it got denied because of an Adam Walsh Act that lasted 6.5 years. That marriage lasted 6.5 years. I was separated from him in 2016. Since then, I've met a really nice guy.
Good.
Who happens to be a U.S. citizen.
Wow.
I know.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
So, he proposed last September. She then filed for divorce from husband number 3 in October.
Sex predator who was number 3.
Right.
Right.
Sex
Number 3
predator.
was a sex predator. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So, she filed for divorce from him 1 month after she got engaged to current fiance.
That's fine.
The divorce is going to be finalized on February 28th.
Then it happened.
So the divorce was finalized February 28th.
Okay.
What's the best advice you can give me about when I can get married and how to go about filing my paperwork?
Go get married and file an adjustment. So it's on your 4th marriage. There's nothing you told me that was bad. Your first husband had nothing to do with immigration. Your second husband unfortunately passed. Your third husband was a sex predator. Hopefully, this is a marriage for life here. As long as it's a real bona fide marriage, by all means. Go file the adjustment. Let's do 1 or 2 more questions, and then we have Shirley from Syracuse on hold. And then if Jill can whisper in my ear whether Moshe, the caged animal, or maybe Sam the Groundhog got mad that is only allowed 1 animal on the show. I don't know, but we'll see if the caged animal is ready to go. If not, then we'll go to Shirley. Let's see what's going on. 1 more question.
So Patricia says, I'd like to know, how do you obtain info from an American embassy in regards to re-entry back to the U.S. after spending over 10 years back home as a deportee? My American-born niece reapplied a petition for her mom, and they're still waiting after submitting the waiver that they were told to send in. I'd love to help get my sister back with her daughter and her grandkids that she hasn't seen. How can you help?
That's why you have lawyers. There's no resource. That's why you need lawyers. Okay. I don't know why she was deported. I don't know what you put in the waiver. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. We would need to look into everything and then determine where to go from there.
Johnson says, I and my ex-wife came here and were married last year in April. We divorced in Nigeria in September after we got there, and by giving my lawyer power of attorney to do it with us being there and me in Nigeria, with being there in Nigeria. Sorry, weird spacing. Can I remarry here in the U.S.
I'm so confused on your question. Give me the short version.
Okay, so basically, they got married in the U.S. and then moved to Nigeria, got divorced, but because they wanted to get divorced, but since they got married in the U.S., they needed to do the divorce in the U.S. So another attorney got power of attorney and did the divorce for them.
You can't do a divorce. You can only do a divorce where you're living. I don't know if you can do a divorce in the United States and not be physically here. Nobody's living here. I'm not sure what state that would happen.
Well,
in.
There's no power.
There's no power. He needs a consultation. I don't even know what's going on.
There's a possibility you're not divorced, Johnson.
I don't even. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Let's do this. Let's speak to Shirley in Syracuse. I apologize, everybody. We had this wonderful piece with Moshe having a little technical difficulty there. Okay, Technical Brittany is working on the technical difficulties. And in the meantime, we're going to go to Shirley in Syracuse. And then we're going to come back and speak to Belgium Kim at the end of our show. We have about 12 minutes to go. So after Shirley, if you do want to call in with your question, I will be happy to answer it. 1-800-529-5465. And about 5-6 minutes from now, Belgium Kim, we're going to come back to you and see what's going on in all the comment sections. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. 1-800-529-5465. Shirley from Syracuse, New York. Shirley.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good now that I just had my coffee.
Yeah, I just had a question.
Yeah.
My husband is from Guatemala, and he He was.
I hope those
he
are those
came-
dogs tied
yeah.
up. They sound vicious.
let me get in a different area.
It's okay. They're probably tiny little lap dogs who will lick you to death, right?
He came here from Guatemala.
Right.
He was illegal reentry. He
What do you mean
was
illegal
charged with
reentry?
illegal
He got
reentry.
ordered. He got ordered deported. And now, when you
Right,
get
right.
charged with illegal reentry, that's a crime.
Yes.
Okay. Did he go to jail?
Yes.
And then he got deported a second time.
The first time, they just sent him back. The second time he came back, he was charged with illegal reentry. He did go to jail. He spent like 6 months there.
Right.
Then they sent him to a detention center, and then with merits in the case, they had let him out. Right now, he's under supervision with ICE, and we got married of April 15th of last year.
Right.
And we filed a petition for him, and it was approved, and it said it went over to the MVR center, and this has been like 2 months now. We haven't heard from them yet. So my question is, what?
He's not going to be able to. He's going to have to go home to pick up his green card, and he's going to need to do a provisional waiver. But he's going to need some other waivers too. He may not even be eligible. If you were ordered deported twice, you may not even be eligible for a waiver for at least a decade or longer. So before we start sending him home to pick up a green card, I think somebody has to seriously review and understand the laws and understand what his situation is before we give any like strong advice here.
Okay, because we have a lawyer, but the lawyer did the petition, and they sent me back the petition saying it was approved, but then they said that it was going to the NVR center, and
NVC.
The first time that he was caught, I guess. He went back.
Yeah, this is the issue.
I don't think it was a deportation.
You see, if he went to jail on a criminal offense, then it was a deportation. Because if you re-enter after a prior deportation without permission from the Immigration Service, and you leave and you now get deported a second time, or you self-deport, there is no waiver for that. There's no waiver to come back again. So we got to.
So I was just wondering, because his lawyer said that we could apply for a pardon.
Could apply for a pardon, perhaps, but the pardon would be you can't apply for a pardon from the state government because the state did not charge you. So you're not going to go to a governor. You're going to go to Donald Trump as the president of the United States of America and ask for a pardon. What are the odds that you think Donald Trump would give your husband a pardon? Almost like zero, less than zero. So
yeah.
I mean that's kind of ridiculous advice. What I would tell you to do is that this is a serious situation that is not going to be resolved on this show. This is where we need to go look at all the records and then hopefully come up with a good idea for you. Okay, I don't have the good idea at this moment, but hopefully once I look at all the records, hopefully I come up with a good idea. Okay, so hold on one second. You guys all need definitely a consultation. All right? 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. All right, so what do we got here? We got about 6 minutes to go on our show. We're gonna Jill, what do we got? Anything, or we're going? All right, so what we're gonna do is I had talked with a comedian. He's from India, and he's also a banker. He's also successful on Wall Street, and we talked to him about his American dream, and we're going to hear about his American dream. His name is Sumant Gupta. He is a banker, an actor, a comedian, a producer. His whole family immigrated here from the 1970s, and then we're going to come back in about 2 or 3 minutes and speak to Belgium Kim with all your final comments and all of your final questions. Let's watch Sumant Gupta. Best person in America's American dream and American story. We're at about 40 or 50 people. We have about 300 million to go. We have with us today Sumant Gupta. He is an actor, a comedian, a producer, and also a whiz on Wall Street, multi-talented.
I was this calm, good-looking guy. In the inside, I was like things all over the place.
He's originally from India. His family came here when he was little, and it took him over 20 or 30 years to join your family here, and you're with us today, and your family originally comes from India, is that correct?
That's correct.
And how did they originally come here? What do you remember? What family members coming here first, second, third, and what was it like for you to grow up in India with your family moving off to America?
Sure. My family members, the first member to come here was my father's youngest brother. He came here in 1970, early 70s, and he was a doctor. And the first time he came here, he was very impressed by the city of New York and the area around. That's where he started working. And what he did for us was, for the rest of the family, was he applied for immigration. And
he applied for his other brothers and sisters.
That's right. And I think that was the only thing you were allowed to apply for.
And this is back in the 1970s.
Yes, sometime during the 70s.
Now, he was a doctor in India. I would assume, knowing how immigration works, he didn't come to work here as a doctor. He wasn't able to practice medicine here.
He was able to, but at that point of time, they allowed you to take certain tests.
Oh, they did? Okay.
And if you passed those tests, you could come as
So
a doctor.
So he did practice as a medical doctor here?
He did. He
Okay,
did.
he
But
did not
for
give
that,
up his
he had to
career.
go abroad somewhere. I think he had to go to Malaysia to take those tests.
Mm-hmm.
It was really expensive. It was a huge investment on the part of my father to get him here. So getting the tickets, getting him to go to Malaysia to take the tests, the whole works.
So you grew up in India. You were just telling me off camera, I said, where did you learn English? You learned English in school. All of your studies were done in English. What was it like? What do you remember learning about America or thinking America was as your family started to immigrate to America, but you were kind of left behind?
Well, Indians have always been exposed to a lot of Americana as we've grown up, right? So movies, like I grew up watching Mel Brooks, Alfred Hitchcock, listening to MTV. I remember my uncle specifically used to send us Casey Kasem's recorded radio programs.
Right.
And we would play that endlessly.
Suman Gupta, thank you very much for coming. You'll be appearing on St. Mark's Place tonight at a comedy stand-up. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
On your entire career. You are, in fact, living the American dream. You are successful. You're doing what you want. And what we want to do here on the Brad Show Live is show people from all different cultures, from all different parts of the world who come to America. This is a melting pot. This is people coming from all over the world and making a success for themselves, and not only making a success for themselves, but making America great in the process. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate it. All right, so we got about 2 or 3 minutes to go. That was Suman Gupta. We got about 2 or 3 minutes to go. I know Kim has 2 questions burning to get out, and we'll find the funniest comments of the day. Kim. Hello.
Hello.
All right, so what do we got? We got to go quickly
So
here. We got about 3 minutes.
our first is a clarification from Johnson, who was married in Nigeria. We figured it out.
Okay.
He was married in Nigeria. Then he and his wife split up, and he moved to the U.S. They finalized their divorce in Nigeria, where he gave an attorney power of attorney to do the divorce while he was in the
U.S.
U.S.
divorced from his wife. Okay, so what's the problem?
And so now he wants to get remarried, and he needs a piece of paper that proves that he is divorced. Is the piece of paper from his attorney that just said you're divorced enough?
No, you need an actual certificate with a stamp from the court.
Lindora says, my name's Lauren. I'll be turning 21 in May, and I'd like to file for both of my parents who are out of status.
Great.
Can I file for both at the same time?
Yes.
They're married. They do. They both file their taxes together, and I would be filing for them as a U.S. citizen.
Yes, you filed 2 separate applications, one for mom and one for dad, but the answer is yes, you file for both.
We got a quick last second one from Darius, who says, my mom is a U.S. citizen, and my brother is 22 years old, and he lives in Liberia. He's about to come to the U.S. Can his mom give him citizenship?
No. She's actually 7 to 8 years waiting. You have to file an I-130 and wait 7 to 8 years. That's the myth of chain migration. And the funniest comments of the day, Kim, are what?
It was a day of nicknames.
Nicknames.
Nicknames, because you remember that wonderful friendship I told you about yesterday between Marge and Jeff Bosey?
Yes, yes.
And Marge is a little bit up there in her years.
Yes. Marge is a
has
senior
dubbed
citizen.
Marge has come up with the greatest nicknames for her and Jeff of all time.
Okay, so let's hear the greatest nicknames.
Marge is Glamma.
Glamma?
Glamma.
Okay.
Like a glamorous grandma.
I understand that. I get it. Okay. Glamma.
And Jeff is her glam son.
Glam son. Glamma and glam son. There you got it. All right, everybody. Good night, Glamma. Good night, glam son. Good night, Brad Squad. Good night, Kimmy Kim Kim. Good night, Jilly Bean. Good night, Sam, Groundhog Sam, whatever we call him, Groundhog Sam. Good night, Patrice. Good night, Technical Brittany. Good night, Muta Ali. Good night to everybody. We'll see you all on Monday. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.